In the movie Flyaway, Mandy's mother wrestles back and forth between the grueling decision to put her daughter in a facility or not. There are many implications for what Mandy's mother is considering. First, it implies that Mandy's mother cannot take care of her and is washing her hands of her. This is absolutely not the case, however, it could be seen that way by some. Mandy's mother alludes to feeling that way when she's discussing it with Mrs. Howell. She's insistent that she can take care of Mandy and that she is her little girl and she could never send her away to some institution, which shows she feels like she would be giving up on her daughter if she were to send her to Warrington Hall. The next implication is that it is Mandy's problem and not her mother's. Jean feels that Mandy's autism is her problem, when Mrs. Howell feels that it is Mandy's. Even though Jean could care for her daughter, she will not always be around. The sad truth is that she will die one day. As Mrs. Howell points out, who is going to take care of Mandy after her mother dies? If all she knows is to be dependent on her mom, what will happen to her? Eventually, she will age out of school, and then what? Will she have the skills she needs to be independent? As a mother, I felt torn right along with Jean. I have no idea what I would do in that situation. I would like to hope that I would play the martyr role that Jean played, by having to make the decision to give up control and what happens to her daughter at all times, and her schedule had to have been the most difficult decision she had ever and would ever have to make. I cannot imagine the agony she must have had in trying to make that decision. My heart broke when Mandy asked if she would ever marry. Which brings me to the other hand, where you can see how community living would benefit Mandy, and it would set her up for hopefully a more successful and independent living situation, also giving her the social opportunities and giving her skills she needs to survive. Mandy was clearly really excited about having boys and starting to live what feels like a normal life in a school that is a good placement and a good environment for her. When she kept having behavior problems and would say that she hates school, you could tell the placement wasn't right for her. Though I could see how Mandy's mother took it personally as an attack against her daughter. The resources I found on community living opportunities outlined a lot of the same types of living situations that were depicted in Warrington Hall in the movie. One of the articles talked about how a group of parents got together to research options for their children after they aged out of school and to create a planned and community living situation that would be there for their children after they died or could no longer take care of them. They were able to create their own little community close to wine country in California, and I thought that sounded really great. It was nice to read about a group of families who got together due to a common need and were able to collaborate to found something great. There were 2 scoops of some interesting videos walking through the process of funding through the government and different options for living, as well as getting assistance to make independent living possible. What I would recommend to families who are considering community living or such arrangements is to take the time. Find what works best for the individual. Don't settle for anything that makes you or the individual uncomfortable. Investigate. Do your research. Make sure that the choice you make is the right one and that everyone is on board and happy. Find somewhere that's willing to work to find out what fits the needs of the individual the best and gives them the most opportunity and ability to succeed to their fullest potential.